So I'm very tired. I had my uncle come over, and it's nice when he's over because he buys me lots of stuff, and it's nice. But I'm reminded at how, he's got bipolar. He's got severe bipolar. But being around him actually reminds me of how wrong people are, wrong doctors are, because I think really what he's got is an extreme case of stupidity, and he's just not very bright and doesn't spend his money. Like I'm very like cautious with how I spend my money. I wouldn't spend it unless I felt like it was necessary or stuff. But with him, he's just, like he's got this free bus pass, so he can use any buses whenever he wants. But he doesn't use buses because there's no toilet in a bus, and it's just like, but you didn't go to the toilet. It's a 15-minute walk to the train station, and then there's a 5-minute train station. It's two stops. There was two trains that we could have gone to. My house happens to be right in the middle, so it's kind of a long distance. It's probably about 15 minutes from one station and about 12 minutes from the other. But yeah, he wants to go for the shortest one possible, even if it's in the wrong direction. So we go in the completely wrong direction to where we're heading. Doesn't want to take a bus, which there's a bus just about three-minute walk away, but he doesn't want to get that because he might need to go to the toilet, even though he didn't need to go to the toilet. So we got into town. We literally got there. There's like probably a 1 or 2 minute walk it's just outside. You just have to walk across the road, and then there's a tiny little road. And as soon as we got there, he went straight to the first stall that sold, hot dogs. And I was like, do you not want to walk? Because around just around the top, they have better hot dogs, more cooked or more round or more thick. Do you want to like go up there and see? Oh no, I don't want to walk around. It's just like, well, we've come to a market to walk around the market. It's a very small market. It's not massive. It takes probably take about 5 minutes to walk from one side or the other to the one side to the other. Maybe 6-7 minutes because there's lots of sort of people around, but it's not a very big market. But no, he didn't want to walk around. He just went straight to the first one that he saw, and that was good enough. And then we walked another two stalls up, and then he was thirsty, and I said, "Oh well, there's a few up there, and there's a few back down there. We'd have to go back the way we came." And he was just like, and he looked, and he's like, not into the market, but into the restaurant that we were right next to. I want to go in here. Okay, are you sure you don't want to like look around? Oh, no, in here. Okay, so we go in there. He buys me a nice strawberry and lime drink, cider drink, and he has one too. He has half of one, doesn't want to drink anymore. I have the whole of it, of my one, and then he ends up giving me half of his, which is great. I'm not complaining. One and a half is better than one. We come out, and again, he doesn't really want to do any walking. He said that he feels bloated because of the drink that we've just had, and that he no longer wants to have anything. And so it's just like, okay, well, how about you sit somewhere? Well, even if you were to sit somewhere, we would still have to walk to somewhere for you to sit. So I was like, I managed to get him to walk up to where the only seating area was, which is like there was a step probably about a minute walk. He got distracted by a stall that was selling gloves and hats, and he spent ages. I don't know how he spent ages and ages buying one pair of gloves, and I went to go after waiting about 5 minutes for him to buy this one pair of gloves. I went to go and then he just said to the stall owner, I want a hat as well. Pick me out one. And then she was confused because she was like, well, what color do you want? These are the hats. You don't just go to a stall and ask the other person behind the stall to pick out a hat for you. You're buying the hat. There's about 8 options of different colors, and you have to choose which one you want. It's like me going to Tesco's and saying, I want meat, asking some staff member, I want meat, pick out meat for me. I don't know, it's just, but yeah, he said that to her, pick out one for me. And then she just said, what color do you want? And then she also said that there, and then eventually he said how much, and then she was like £30. And then he's like, oh no, it's okay. But it's just how, like, he didn't like think his first question should be how much are they, you know, and I'm going to choose this one, not asking the person behind the stall to pick out one for him whilst not even knowing how much it is and stuff. And it's just, I don't know. I said to him as soon as that the £30, like, David, that's a bit much just for a hat. I mean, you're you know, you're not working, you're on the dole, or not the dole, it's benefits and living off, you know, the government money because of his bipolar. But anyway, managed to get him to, after that stall, I managed to take him up to where the seat was. He sat down. I did a circle, went to go and see all the different other options of food that they had. I came back, and then he wanted to go, but he was thirsty again. I was like, well, you weren't thirsty 10 minutes ago because you didn't finish your drink. You gave it to me. No, I'm thirsty. And then I was like, okay, well, there's a Tesco's down there. No, I want to drink now. And then he just walked straight into a Starbucks to buy a bottle of water. And you know, it's fine to go into a Starbucks to buy a bottle of water, but usually you go to these places because you want to buy the bottle of water and then sit down and drink it. You don't just walk into Starbucks because you literally just want to have a bottle of water and then walk out with it a second later, you know, or maybe you're with friends, they're having a coffee, they want to sit down and you just want water, so you have it. But I don't know, to use Starbucks as if like you're just going to literally just go in there, get the water and go. I mean, I felt like that was, he wasn't in a hurry. We'd only been there for, well, we'd been there a while because we had the drink, and I spent quite a long time trying to finish that drink because I had one and a half. I don't drink very fast, but I was drinking quite fast. But yeah, and then I managed to convince him to go to Tesco's and buy the same bottle for £1 rather than £2 because that's saving him £1. But yeah, it's just, it made me think, how do people function if they don't have money and if they're living on sort of benefits? How do they function if they can't? Being around him made me think that people like him just can't live a normal life. You know, part of me was making me think about Katie Price and how she copes with her son. I mean, I think it's different in her case because that's her son. You know, and like you you know, you're the mother and you have a sort of a large amount of care, but because he's my uncle, because he's, you know, fully grown, because he's older than me, and I just, he couldn't make basic life choices, and a part of me just thinks this isn't bipolar, this is just him being stupid and not like thinking. It's £1 in Tesco's, or it's actually 1.20 in Tesco's, or this one, but it's laziness. It was laziness. I don't have the ability to walk 5 doors down to the Tesco's, or to ask Anna where, because I did say that Tesco's is there, and he was just like, oh no, this is closer. And it was just like his whole mentality was, I don't want to walk anywhere. I just want to stand somewhere and just expect it to be in front of me. It was just like this whole mentality. I was very, very frustrated. It was very weird. It was very weird. And then he was hungry and thought, let's go to the that sausage thing, and we were quite next to it, so we went there, and then he wanted to leave, and we went to the station, but there was the two trains were cancelled, so we had to go to a different station, which was a long walk. That was a very long walk that he did not want to do, but he had no choice because he didn't want to wait 2 hours in the station that we were currently in. So we had to walk the 15 minutes to the other station. But yeah, there was probably about a 20-minute wait, and he was like, milkshake, we want milkshake. And I was like, you don't have to get me one. No, it's okay, I'll get you one. Okay. And so we sat there, but it took about 5 minutes for the milkshake to be made. They served his first, so I went out, put it on his table. I went back, waited another minute for my one to be ready. I came out. He was basically just finished his milkshake. He basically just downed it, and then a minute later he kind of left, and then I was just kind of sat on the table. Pretty much, I hadn't even like I had a little bit of it in the time that he was here, but it's just how did it makes me feel like, how do people like this function? Like they don't feel like, I don't feel like he's living. I feel like he's just, I don't know, but it's very, very weird. Anyway, I did have a lot of time for thinking today, and I'll make a different video about it separately. I was just ranting about how irritating my day was.